Welcome to the Variety Show is the second song on the album that came from our early years. Specifically, I remember this one, just as far as like writing is concerned, I remember this one being like the first time where I felt like I actually nailed the sound that I wanted. Mm-hmm. So for a long time I knew the direction I was striving for, but I don't know if it was I just wasn't finding the chords, the right chord structures, or the right attitude and the lyrics. And I remember when this one came together, I felt like, that's finally what I was trying to get.
Right.
That kind of sound.
I remember having a horrible time trying to figure out a name for this song.
Yeah, so about that. So this song, the working title for it was "I Will Wait for You," just because it's obvious. It's just in the lyrics, and we ended up performing at our school variety show with this song. This is the first time we did that out of 2 times, and both those songs are on this album. We did.
They are.
But this is the first one, and we closed the show, and kind of arrogantly, which was out of character for us, because usually we were very even-keeled. Mm-hmm. We kind of said, like, yeah, they put us at the end, but it doesn't even start till the end. Like, kind of thing. Like, so, like, we were like, what do we call it? Well, we did it at the variety show. We'll just call it Welcome to the Variety Show, because that's when it started anyways. It was just like a dumb high school, like, we weren't good. Neither was anybody else. So, I mean, it was just like, it wasn't anything, but we didn't have a name, so we ended up calling it Welcome to the Variety Show, just kind of like a cheeky kind of thing. Like, that was
kind of made sense to me. You're like running around with all different people. You're like, variety show, different people, all the time.
Oh, well, that sounds better. We should say that one.
Yeah. I just assume that's why you made that.
So I don't sound like a big jerk. The inspiration for this song was I had somebody close to me going through a divorce, and the divorce happened because one of the members of the marriage was unfaithful. And so this was me writing about that kind of scenario from like a 17-year-old's perspective, which after the fact, it's very simple. It's a very young way of looking at, well, how does that sort of thing happen? It has to play out like this, and the person who was unfaithful has to be looking for this and has to be completely evil and stuff like that. So it's a very simplified version of what human interaction actually comes down to and what divorce actually comes down to. It's a very simplified version of that. It's a very young person looking into the window of older people trying to understand. And it's a lot more black and white than kind of the world is gray. The older you get, the more you realize that there's levels and layers to human interaction and relationships and stuff like that.
I feel like this was partly inspired by a Sum 41 song, but I can't remember which one.
I mean, probably in general,
probably
at least. A lot of them, yeah.
But I mean, the part at the very end where you and I sing.
Oh, yeah, no, that's definitely... So whenever we did that live, the first time at the variety show, we did not do the overlapping lyrics thing at the end.
An afterthought.
But when we recorded our very, 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 very sketch demo that we did in your basement that no one will ever hear ever, we came up with the idea of you coming back in with the bridge over top of the thing at the end. Mm-hmm. And it wasn't some 41 thing, it was kind of a Blink-182 thing. Like how they do at the end of Feeling This.
Yeah, I know there was a Sum 41 song that I had just listened to like that day, and I can't remember what song it is.
Well, that is just as likely.
And I was like, that would sound good there. Let's do something like that. And then we
Those
put it in.
Probably the 2 most important bands of shaping us in our early years. So
I wish I could remember what song it was, and I feel dumb for not.
Oh, I thought it was definitely a Feeling This kind of thing.
Mm-mm. Maybe someday I'll remember and I'll tell you what song it was.
Don't remember that it was Feeling This by Blink-182.
Sometimes when I, come with my girlfriend's like, where? Like, oh, I'm sorry I'm late. And then I just start singing the first verse of the song. I wasn't actually,
Long night,
doing, it was actually the meeting ran late. And,
yeah.
This is one song to play. I didn't realize, this was an early song because it just has like a different, like there's more things that link together throughout the song. It's not just like one thing like over and over again or whatever. Mm-hmm. It's like, there's like, you got the whole like transition from like verses to choruses and stuff. It has like a good feeling and the song like really moves. So
it was much more developed than the other ones, and it's definitely like a later song, which, like I said, it was like this is the first one where I felt like The songs that came before this felt like we were emulating, like we were a knockoff of the sound that we wanted. And this time it actually felt like, oh, we might be legitimate now. Is that recording?
It was No Reason. Song 41.